What's up, everyone? Welcome to the February 24th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, you get one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit at PrizePicks. Be sure to use the code Awesemo to receive a 100% first deposit bonus up to $100. Today, we have a 7-game NBA slate in our return from the All-Star break. Not a whole lot of injury news to worry about. No really relevant players questionable right now, which is nice. But as always, be sure to tune in to the deeper dive and live before lock in the 2 hours up until tip for more up-to-date information, more up-to-date ownership projections, all of that. But for now, taking an early look at 5 of the top tournament options on FanDuel. Number 5, Demar Derozan is expensive at $10,600, but he's only projected for about 8% ownership with a 14% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Derozan has shooting guard and small forward eligibility, and while Zach LaVine is returning to the lineup for the Bulls, DeRozan has still averaged 1.28 FanDuel points per minute in the games that he's played without Lonzo Ball and with both of LaVine and Vucevic this season. In those games, DeRozan has also averaged 37 minutes per game. Tonight's game against the Hawks is expected to be high scoring, one of the highest totals on the slate, along with the Memphis and Minnesota game. And DeRozan certainly still capable of giving you a massive fantasy score on FanDuel. Number 4, Seth Curry, $5,900, projected for 12% ownership with a 15% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Curry is shooting guard and point guard eligible. He's averaged 0.84 FanDuel points per minute in his first 3 games with Brooklyn. I think that's a pretty reasonable expectation going forward, but we have seen increased usage and playmaking opportunities for Curry compared to his time in Philadelphia. The numbers that he's put up so far in Brooklyn with about a 23% usage rate and about a 23.5% assist percentage are very similar to what we saw during his time in Philadelphia whenever Joel Embiid was not on the floor. So I do think we can expect those rates to continue more or less. He does have a difficult matchup against the Boston Celtics tonight. Brooklyn only with about a 103 implied total. So not the safest play in the world, but he's also not that popular, and he does get plenty of opportunities running this offense for Brooklyn while Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant are both out. Number 3, Jayson Tatum on the other side of this game. He's $9,900, projected for about 14% ownership with about a 16% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Tatum has a pretty favorable matchup. He has small forward and power forward eligibility, and he's averaged 1.22 FanDuel points per minute this season in 36.1 minutes per game. Not getting a ton of ownership, not completely unowned either, but a very high upside option that does add at least a somewhat contrarian piece to your lineup. Number 2, Anthony Edwards, $8,100. He is projected for 10% ownership with a 17% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Edwards has small forward and shooting guard eligibility in his matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies, along with the Atlanta-Chicago game. This game is likely to be one of the highest scoring games on the slate. Edwards has averaged 34.6 minutes per game and 1.09 FanDuel points per minute in the games that he's played with D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns active this season. His salary is relatively expensive on FanDuel, at least compared to DraftKings, but at $8,100, we know that Edwards is capable of taking over any given game, and if he does so, you're not going to be too worried about a slight overpay for Edwards. And number 1, the top tournament option on the slate as things currently stand, $6,100 Clint Capella is projected for 15% ownership with about an 18% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Capella has played 8 games without John Collins this year. He's averaged 1.22 FanDuel points per minute in those games, and he's also averaged 29.8 minutes per game. That's a huge deal when you talk about Capella because prior to Collins' injury, we were seeing Capella just kind of play 23, 24 minutes. Now you have basically a 48-minute split between Capella and Okongwu, with Capella typically getting you around 30 minutes. We know that he's well over a 1 fantasy point per minute player. This game is expected to be played at a fast pace. There should be plenty of rebounding opportunities for Capella. He offers you block upside as well. Looks like a very strong option tonight. So to recap, the top 5 tournament options on FanDuel as things currently stand. Number 5, DeMar DeRozan. Number 4, Seth Curry. Number 3, Jayson Tatum. Number 2, Anthony Edwards. And number 1, Clint Capella.